think that we have the opportunity here to use all those experiences that we've had over the past, really lifetime, but particularly in the past 20 years, to understand from a bottoms-up approach and working with the neighborhoods to understand how these neighborhoods can become more vibrant and become really the great neighborhoods that they once were and will continue to be in the future. We've really become a partner with Google at Bakery Square, and now we have the opportunity to take it to the next level, to make it 100 times better than it is today. And what do we have here? We have the opportunity to make a once-in-a-lifetime transformation, a redevelopment of a site that is probably the largest in the East End of Pittsburgh, and we have the opportunity to do it at scale with Google. Since we already have a 20-acre site adjacent here, the existing Bakery Square, we have the opportunity to add another 15 acres to it. We really can take our time and be systematic about it and be flexible and take a look at the framework of development around these communities and tie that framework together to the opportunities.
Pittsburgh, there's still a huge opportunity, and what it takes is a willingness to work together and find ways where the community that's already there find a way to see themselves in this new economy that's taking shape.
So I think one of the best ways to start to solve this systemic problem is to start building those connections.
For the past 20 years, we've been reconnecting our communities, rebuilding bridges in order to make them tied together economically, socially, and culturally.
And looking over the next 10, 20 years, we have a great opportunity to really make a major transformational impact for this community. And we believe that with some really great community-driven ideas, to really listen to their needs, listen to the community. It's been said many times from friends of mine in this community that they don't want to have two different Lormers. They want to have one Lormer, and we as Bakery Square need to be together as one.
And I think this is sort of the epicenter of where we think disconnection has occurred historically. You look at the physical barriers here, we see the railroad tracks, we see this busway and neighborhoods beyond those, but they're not connected to each other. So we were able to acquire an old warehouse to create a physical connection between these neighborhoods, really a bridge across the railroad tracks where there never had been one before.
So it would not only connect them to Bakery Square, but connect them to the busway, to greater transportation opportunities. You're going to see the rebirth of the Hamilton Avenue corridor, which is closer to Larimer, and so you're going to see over time a greater connectivity and overflow of Bakery Square into the Larimer community.
Bridging two communities into one. And we worked so hard for us to get to the point that we are now, and I'm excited.
And the other piece of that is that, you know, walkability.
In the old days, people walked to work. And when you have these great connections between neighborhoods, you have the opportunity for people to connect and live in neighborhoods that are adjacent to where they work. The other thing we've learned is people that come to Pittsburgh and want to work and live in these neighborhoods really want to be connected. If they wanted to be disconnected, they could live in the suburban neighborhoods with the big shopping centers and the gated communities. But when they live in the city, they want to live in connected neighborhoods. They don't want physical barriers that separate them. They want to interact with people of diverse backgrounds.
This is a major impact of breaking down the barriers.
Also allows us to be an economic generator because companies want to be at a place where they can attract people from around the world.
Because we have to be able to meet the demand of tomorrow. And part of that demand is access. And one of the things that we need to work with Bakery Square to make it more holistic to the community is that we have to make sure that African Americans in this community go to work. African Americans were here before Bakery Square was built. We're here now, we're going to be here after. We will always be here.
When you talked about jobs, could we improve that? Yes.
Certainly, we want to build healthy Black communities. We want to build healthy communities in general.
If your purpose is just to build buildings, then we're not building a neighborhood. But if your purpose is to build a neighborhood, you look at that human capital in that neighborhood and you make sure that they're working on jobs.
Jobs, they need to find jobs, they need to have job training. We need to come up with job training programs.
How can we retrain and train a workforce and the parents in the school district to help them be more comfortable with technology? That's why I'm happy when you see Google, CMU, and some of the others that are here right now.
One of the things that we're in conversation about is doing an incubator space, as a joint venture between the Consensus Group and Walnut Capital.
Obviously, when you start to have more opportunity for entrepreneurship, when you have something like Phillips moving into the area, and there's going to be opportunity to have jobs and access to jobs and walking distance to where people live, work, and play.
Bakery Square has brought in thousands of jobs, has increased tax revenue by millions of dollars. But what's most important is it's also been an anchor that has helped us to attract affordable housing in neighborhoods like Larimer, in East Liberty.
Our key priority is to build, over the next 5 years, 50 brand new homes or rehabs within the community.
What's their number one priority? Housing. A home ownership. Look at this vacant property we're looking around. All these opportunities here for home ownership.
And the opportunity in Larimer is tremendous. It's walkable, it's bikeable, lots of underutilized land in Larimer. It is ripe.
But single family housing, that people that care about your community. I want to see people come in here that wants to make Larimer grow into the 25th century, And I also want people that look like me to be able to afford those units, to come into the community and continue the vision of the green infrastructure and the sustainability of the community.
We need to extend the Wi-Fi network throughout this community so that the children can have access to online learning, free.
I want you to bring your book, bring your radio, get on Wi-Fi, and enjoy yourself in the community. We're here, but let's take it to the next step.
We have this moment where we can take the power of Bakery Square, extend it to bring resources and wealth into this whole district.
Investment has now occurred in these communities, although at a very, very slow pace and at a very, very small scale. I think the opportunities with all the district neighborhoods around Bakery Square is that we can jumpstart this investment.
It's going to take time, it's going to take money, and it's going to take a lot of effort. And whatever we're doing in the past, we just have to do better.
But I think if you look beyond to its impact, the legacy of Bakery Square will not just be this development, but will be rebuilding Larimer, Homewood, East Liberty, North Point Breeze.
It's not just about the bricks and mortars and the physical development of buildings, but it's how you improve people's life. There's a lot of divides that we can bridge. We can bridge the racial divide, the economic divide, the wealth divide. There's a lot that we can do.
What I'm hoping to see happen in East Liberty is a model that will not only be replicated throughout southwestern Pennsylvania, but throughout the world.
With the ability for Google to reinvest in these communities along with Walnut Capital, we have the opportunity to make a generational change in the neighborhood surrounding Bakery Square.
We got opportunity in turning this into a thriving neighborhood in which everybody feels part of, where everybody's included. Join us in this opportunity of growth.